Hi guys, welcome back. This is Teresa, aka Ted, from Ted's Wig Emporium. In today's video, I'll be sharing some of my tips and tricks when it comes to making your wig your own. In this episode, we'll be talking about the ear tubs. So if you ever find that the side of the wig here, called the ear tubs, are giving you some grief, perhaps you feel like they are just too long here at the front, causing some discomfort when wearing glasses, or making you feel self-conscious when tucking the hair behind your ear, this video is for you guys. Today I'll be working on two different wigs with two different cap constructions, because in real life every wig is a little bit different and sometimes needs a slightly different approach. One is open wefted, one is a closed wefted cap, which also applies to a fully hand-tied cap construction. Now the first wig I'll be working on is this one I'm wearing here, called Vanessa by Belle Madame. The second one is called Luminary by Natural Image. I'm also going to show you one of the more extreme versions of the first method that I applied in the past to my Rachel wig by John Renault for the most natural look, given that you do have some bio hair to incorporate with your wig. So keep on watching. For me personally, because my head measurements from front to back, side to side are of a petite size, I normally find that most average size wigs are way too big for me. So usually what I tend to do is remove 2 or 3 wefts from the cap, which in turn fixes the job because it makes the cap much more tighter around the back and again lifts that entire section towards the back. So let's get to it. Those are the tools I will need for the job, which are sharp scissors, some hair clips, thread and a needle. I'm going with a brown thread because normally it's quite close to the color of the cap inside. It's also a great idea to get yourself one of those de-threading tools, which is great if you just want to go back and undo what you've done. Okay, so I'm going to start with Vanessa by Belle Madame. Let me firstly show you the problem. As you can see, even though she does come with that extended lace front, the ear tubs are extremely long. The ear tub here does stick out on the sides. So what we really just need to do is take a snip right at the end. Remember, there is a metal wire in the ear tub, so we're going to make sure that we don't cut all of that metal wire, because that ensures that the ear tub stays flat against our heads. But I'll show you that in a moment. Make sure your wig is on straight. That's a very important part as well when you're doing any adjustments. I tend to just bend that little bit of the ear tub I want cut off. So I'll be just taking a small section. Okay. Because I'm only snipping the ends of those ear tubs, by bending them in situ, it gives me a better visual of how much I actually have to take off. The next step is to pull all of the fibers away from that area so that we can preserve as much hair as possible and pin it in place by using hair clips. I'm also going to use a comb just to detangle this area, so I'm not going to cut any more hair than I need to. I highly recommend investing in a good pair of sharp sewing scissors capable of cutting not only material but also through the metal inside the ear tub. Now, depending on the brand, sometimes there can be one singular piece of metal. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard to cut through. In this particular example, Belle Madame uses 3 smaller, slightly more flimsier wires encased in a green plastic sleeve. You don't need to cut a lot of the ear tab to make a huge difference. I'm cutting about 5 millimeters, then rounding it up towards the edges, making sure I'm staying well away from the extended lace front. As you can see, we have sacrificed very little hair, mainly from the tip. Straighten the wire inside the ear tab by holding it on both ends and pulling it gently but firmly. Once you gain access to the wire, push it out a little bit out of the ear tab to trim it just a tad shorter from the edge. We definitely don't want it to come through the ear tab once we are done. You can leave all of this stitching work right to the end once you do the other side. I'm going to try it on to see if I'm happy with the amount I've taken off, making sure it's nice and straight and all of the loose hairs have been removed. I hope you can see a difference here. The right hand side has slightly different shape compared to the original left hand side. So here is the side I have trimmed back. Already we can see a big difference. I'm quite happy with this side. I'm gonna go ahead and trim the other one. I feel like once you know what's hiding inside that ear tab, you know what you are up against, so doing the other side is normally much easier and much quicker. Just take your time. You can always trim a little bit more if you have to, but also remember you can use the other side as a benchmark. That's also one of the reasons I leave all of the sewing part right to the end, so I can press them two together to make sure they are roughly the same shape. And remember, once we start sewing, the edges will shrink a little bit more, so don't take too much too soon. Check for symmetry by pressing the two together. Let's start sewing. I'm using a brown thread and a very fine thin needle. I like to start from one edge, working from inside the cap towards the outside. So that means that you can trap some of the hairs from outside towards the edge, creating like a under-knotted effect. This will hide that edge, so you won't be able to see any of the cap, just the fibers on the outside. I will show you a little close-up here in a sec. I think they call it a blanket sewing technique. Not sure because I am not a seamstress, and trust me, you don't have to be either. Please forgive me, some of the footage is slightly out of frame. I was a little bit gutted with my camera setup here, not seeing all of the picture. I'm sure you can forgive me since it's on a little bit of sewing. Make sure you gently comb the wig through to pull out any tangles and straighten the ear tabs. Straight away, guys, I can tell this feels so much more comfortable. Make sure that the metal is pressed against your temple. Although it's shorter, it's still doing its job. I'm very, very pleased with the result. Other wig I want to show you guys is called Luminary by Natural Image. She has a beautiful extended lace front and a fully hand-tied monofilament top. And although the eartabs are not too bad, to be honest with you, I do feel like it would definitely benefit from them to be pushed back slightly more towards the back, allowing you more natural looking ear tag. Now this method is definitely less invasive. It would also apply to a fully hand-tied cap construction. It can be reversed, it can be amended if you need to. This will involve pinching some of the cap at the back just behind your ear tabs, also making the cap feel tighter and more comfortable. As you can see, guys, this cap is partly hand-tied and partly closed wefted, which seems to be a very popular style of cap across various brands. Now, some sections of the cap are more stretchy than the others. I would suggest study the cap before you make any decisions first. Try it on your head, try which areas of the cap feel like they need to be taken in to achieve best result. Because I'm trying to pull the ear tab towards the back, I'm gonna take in a small section of the cap in about half moon shape from the bottom of the cap towards the top in about 45 degrees angle to ensure that the cap still follows the curvature of my head and that the wefts are still aligned at the back, so the hair on the outside will still fall in the same direction. I'm not actually going to take in too much. I'm going to pinch a small section of the cap, fold it and run a stitch underneath using a backstitch method. This ensures that when the cap is worn, it puts a nice even pressure throughout that section, so it's not going to tear the cap in any place, and it will look nice and straight on the other side. If after doing this you feel like there is still more to be taken in when you try it on, just use the stitching tool I showed you at the beginning of the video to take a larger amount in and just simply repeat this process. Okay, so this side is done. You can see there is a nice tension on that stitch. It's not going to come undone. What we're going to do now is comb it through and try it on. Always work one side at the time. Here is with this side pulled in. Here is the unadjusted side. Technically speaking, we could go a little bit further, but I'm just going to leave it for now because we still need to go and do the other side. To make sure that we are being symmetrical, fold the cap like so and mark the point where we want to start and finish the sewing. And simply repeat the process. Feel free to just skip this part. I would say they are not 100% symmetrical, but you only need to adjust a slight amount. Give it a gentle comb through and we are ready to try it on. I didn't want to go too far because realistically this wig is not too big on my head. It fits my petite average head really nicely, so by taking too much you are risking making the cap too small. So just for the purpose of this tutorial, guys, I wanted to show you what a difference just adding that little bit of tightness makes to the wig overall. Make sure you straighten the ear top after the adjustment as well and press it against the side. Perfect. Yeah, definitely worked. Here is my Rachel wig by John Renault. This is definitely much more drastic approach. Providing you do have some bio hair to blend with your wig, this method works really well and is super comfortable when you're wearing your glasses. As you can see my shaved head here on the side. But imagine I had my own bio hair at similar color or even similar color to the root. It would blend in perfectly and seamlessly with the wig cap, just like a large base topper would. This is what the cap looks like from inside. As you can see, she's had some other alterations done. If you're interested to see how I did that, I do have a video on that on my channel. I will leave the link down below and also I will leave a link up here. So if you're interested, you can check it out as well. Here you can see side by side different angle that I've used when trimming my ear top, giving you a completely different and slightly more drastic result. And of course, one of the other aspects you do have to take into consideration is the lace front and how it's connected with the rest of the cap. I hope you found this video useful, guys, whether it was a hand-tied cap or an open wefted cap, whether you needed to trim just a tiny little bit or go to extremes. Let me know in the comments below, guys. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.